How are you so perfect when there's nothing on you? Baby, I'm about to put that on you. Nobody knows the way I know you.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Janae.
And your main man 5.
And we're back with another banger for you guys.
Today we going into another trilogy from Ren. I know we gained a lot of new subscribers coming from doing this artist. So first off, we appreciate y'all. Y'all helped us recently get monetized. So we really appreciate y'all.
Finally, right, y'all?
Yeah, we've been on the road to 1,000 for a while, but we did it in 90 days.
Yeah.
But we couldn't have did any of it without y'all and consistency. We made it all happen. I thank God, bro, because he gave us the platform to be able to just stick with it. It's not easy being consistent with anything, but we just appreciate y'all for rocking with us through this journey.
Yes, and thank you guys for just letting us know how great we are and how good we've been doing.
Because the comments recently, man, crazy.
Yes, even the comments like telling us what we can do to get better. We definitely appreciate you guys.
I agree. You can't be any form of artist or creator if you can't take constructive criticism. So we appreciate it, and keep commenting down below any ways we can continue to grow and do better, because we want to put out the best we can for y'all.
Yes.
But like I said, we're going to do the trilogy for Money Game. It's part 1, 2, and 3.
Hey, I've been waiting for this one.
I feel like we don't really need to talk too much. We can just get right into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
All right, ready.
It's a strange time we're living in. Bull can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, stripe, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chained to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
I think we could take a pause right there. I think the biggest thing I'm kind of taking away from it already is like when we watched Zombified not too long ago. It's basically just trying to say that we live in a corrupt world, and like we all caught up in a money game. As we always say, you know, you always hear people talk about follow the money, and you would learn everything you need to know about anything going on.
Right.
Whether it be wars or whether it be striking fear into the people of the countries. Because at the end of the day, the easiest way to control somebody is by making them afraid.
That's so true.
Everybody's terrified of what they don't understand, whether it be the pandemic or
Right.
anything of that nature. People going to war and they don't know what they're fighting for. Like you hear people that fought in world wars or just any type of war that's happened over the last 100 years. They always talk about, you know, the days will come where we will question why we even here.
Right.
Because once you start to see what's happening to the people in these countries, you'd be like, well, I kind of lose sight of what we here fighting for.
Right. So
Like a lot of those guys. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it'd be a lot of bad going on.
I agree.
Unknown.
And I think that's the messed up part about that. You send those boys over there to fight wars they don't understand. They come back with a lot of issues, and y'all treat them like social pariahs. It should be things in place to help veterans transition back into regular world, because
I think so too.
they come home troubled from the stuff that they was forced to see over there. They losing friends.
Yeah.
They losing family. They watching children.
Yeah, that
It's
should
messed up.
That should literally be part of it. It's kind of messed up that they don't have no type of like therapy, you know, type of like to get them back in the regular world. That's really sad when you think about it.
It's messed up. You could talk to a World War veteran, a World War II veteran living on the street. They'd tell you everything, but you know you think they crazy,
Right?
Because they just talking.
And it's messed up because you fought in a war and you come home and
Nobody's
nothing.
here to welcome you.
Right.
Nobody's happy to see you. They're actually afraid of you.
Yeah, you just get a thanks for fighting for us. Crazy.
We are caught up in the money game because at the end of the day, no matter what the scenario be, like we just named a bunch of them, it's always for the bottom line, which is to keep money flowing into the pockets of people that is never about us.
Exactly.
That's why
Everything's about money.
It always is, literally. But that's all I wanted to say.
This old money game.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets, they say proudly through gritted teeth, that's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder like savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant. Cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent, I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak, our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 the storm it comes.
This shit, bro.
That's crazy.
You can go first if you had something to say.
Dang.
I know it was a lot to unpack.
It was a lot. I had something to say. The beginning part. Dang. Oh, when he was mentioning like freedom of speech, like a lot of people like confuse. Like, yes, we have freedom of speech, but some people say like the most wildest things and be like, well, I can say what I want, but it's like you can still be disrespectful. Like you can still be tasteful with how you say certain things. Like you shouldn't offend someone on purpose and be like, oh, freedom of speech.
I agree.
Like everybody has feelings. Like
I agree, but it's like, I guess you can look at like the flip side of everything. It's two sides to every coin. Because on that part, I understand it is important to like be able to read social cues and be tasteful when you, because it's like, okay, everybody can agree that you have the right to whatever's inside your own mind. That's your domain to deal with whatever battles you fighting. Some things just don't need to be said out loud. Exactly. That's like if you're having a conversation with your partner, even if you got certain little idiosyncrasies that you like, oh, I hate this about you, I can't deal with it. Yes. Or when you do this, it drives me crazy. I feel like for the betterment of your situation, not everything needs to be brought up.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to bicker and make a constant issue with every little thing?
Exactly.
But on the flip side of that, people do have the right to say whatever they... I just think we've come to a point in the world where people can't handle somebody else's truth. Mm-hmm. I know we always talk about that a lot. Just because you don't agree don't mean it's not true to them.
That's true.
You can't convince somebody that their truth don't make sense.
Yeah.
It's just... we talked about that in the Zombified video. Like even when we talked about with Donald Trump. You know, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. But at the end of the day, people pay attention to like when Twitter silenced him and they like, oh yeah, shut him up. But y'all not thinking if they'd do that to a president, right, what the hell you think they'd do to the rest of us?
Exactly.
They shutting down your right to say what you got to say.
They just shut down everybody's accounts right now.
It ain't gonna be about just Donald Trump no more. Right. Y'all just want somebody to use as a scapegoat. Yeah. It's easy to put it on somebody you don't like.
That's so true.
But what I was gonna say to go off of that was I just really like how he's really talking about the truth of everything. At the end of the day, people fighting wars, countries are going through famines and different types of issues that they're dealing with. We bomb in different places.
Yeah.
Things is happening. Kids are, mm-hmm. But it's like at the end of the day, if this was to be brought to their own front yard, these same people that are sending people over there, It's people that they got bunkers, they got money to hide away from the trouble.
That's so true.
If it was to be an apocalypse, y'all got contingency plans to put y'all and y'all family in a better environment while everybody else, just whatever happens.
Y'all gonna be good regardless. So of course y'all don't care what happens.
And they use like, you know, instances of things that happen. I always like to say, I never put something that somebody did on the entire sum of people.
Yeah.
Like 9/11 was a tragedy. It was a horrible event for the country. I completely agree. But imagine how that makes Muslims feel when they try to get on a plane and everybody's afraid to be around you.
Yeah, and they get looked at funny.
Yes, that's like one of those
smart
things.
remarks.
They get called terrorists. They get called this and that. But it's like when you really think of the people, the higher ups that you never see their faces, the stuff that they put in the media and stuff that they feed into your brain, they the real terrorists.
Yeah.
They trying to destroy families, take fathers out of households. They trying to separate women and men with all of these stupid debates that get pushed on social media.
They don't want us to get along with each other.
They want us to hate each other.
When we hate each other, they are like, we hate each other, they are enjoying it. We feeding them that.
Yeah, and that's the same reason why racism doesn't even have to run the same course we once felt like it did, because we hate each other.
Exactly.
Black people drive themselves apart. White people don't have to do anything.
And they love that.
They don't have to say anything.
Because imagine if everybody just got along and we build a force against them people. I ain't gonna say too much, but
I completely agree. Without getting like too deep into it, I agree. The one thing they don't want is unity, because once we realize that it's not us versus them, it's all of us versus them.
Exactly.
But they don't want you to talk about that.
They don't want us to.
So that, I just really appreciate the fact that he's talking about everybody's truth.
Yeah, I love it.
Subway, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we like to point the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game.
I wanted to give it a chance to end because it is one last thing I wanted to touch on. I even like the imagery of, like, you know, people getting tortured, because that kind of alludes to the imagery of you being forced to play to whatever tune of what's going on in the country you living in. It's like they kind of mistreat you if you don't fall in line.
I love that.
If you don't do and play exactly the way they want you to play, they mistreat you.
I love that.
Or like even the imagery of the fact, like when he was talking about people being immigrants and kind of the lineage of where people come from. It's like, okay, it's good and it's bad people in the world. That's the end of the story. But that don't explain the fact, like when it's immigrants coming into the country, you got children getting separated from their parents.
Right, like why?
You got people going to different camps and getting, you know, that's not right. But it's like that's one of those things that they want to vilify everybody that tries to come across country lines to kind of make us have hatred
towards them. Yeah.
And it's like, that's not right, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's not about having empathy or just any of that. It's just about being a human being. You got to kind of realize the fact that we all here together. Everybody going through their struggles. And that's why, like, when we watch the type of stuff we always be watching, I always get moved when I hear about people that be here fulfilling their American dream from another country, because the stories they got to tell, what they've been through to get here,
they've been through, and what being here means to them is like,
and them having to be here and leave their whole family in another country.
Right, that's crazy.
That's brave.
It is brave.
And I feel like we all could learn a lot from each other, and I think that's what they don't want. The amount of courage that you can learn from somebody that's different from you, let's keep them separated. If you look at somebody who's not from here as an alien, you'll be like, man, I don't got nothing to say to him. Right. But if you sit and talk to them, they're gonna be like, damn, maybe I can find strength for myself to be as strong as you are.
They don't want us all to
be strong. They don't want you to get, yeah, no. I really thought that was good.
I love that, yeah.
Even down to him setting himself on fire.
Yeah.
This is good, bro. I don't even want to talk too long because I know we got 2 other parts to go into, but I wanted to say that. You got anything else you wanted to say about that video?
No, I agree with everything. I love the last part you just said. Like, they only want you to play whatever they want you to. They want you to say whatever they want you to say. They want you to play whatever they want you to play.
Yeah.
And if you try to cross that line and think for yourself or do something for yourself, you disappear, or you know, you don't get your way no more, or whatever. That's crazy.
They want you to follow blindly, like even the imagery of putting the bag over his head.
Right.
They want you to follow blindly because the higher ups in these countries, the issue is they all think they God. They think they can replace whatever the higher source is. They want to control you. The Bible spent the whole time talking about being able to have faith in things you can't see.
Exactly.
And they try to vilify that concept and fit it into their agenda. And that's when it's like, damn, we all falling apart now.
The world we live in, y'all.
But that was Money Game Part 1. We're going to get right into Part 2.
Eee.
So we're going to see what we hit.
Let's see what Part 2 is hitting for, y'all.
All right, we're going to get right into Part 2. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
You got anything you want to say going into it, or you just ready to hear it?
I'm just curious to see what else you got to say in the other parts.
Yeah, like to have 3 parts of it, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
But this one is a lyric video. It's not a music video, like Part 1 and 3.
Nice. At least we got subtitles.
Yeah, and it'll be easier to digest.
Strange time we're living in, panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on. Needlessly bleeding, resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we died upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame.
I love how he's singing this.
It's great.
It's great.
It is great. And I like the fact that Part 1 was obviously a live performance.
Yeah.
But I just like the fact that his performance and his theatrics is just as good as the message that he's trying to put across.
Me too.
But what I do like, my favorite thing about Ren is that he's not saying anything new. I like people that perpetuate stuff you already know and just remind you to pay attention. Like if you got fleeting thoughts that come into your head about certain things, don't be afraid to question what they tell you.
Right.
the number one thing that people want you to do is be so afraid that you don't question their motive. But somebody has to ask questions.
Somebody has to.
Everybody loves well, not everybody, but I appreciate a curious person because at least you care about where you end up.
Exactly. Why are we doing this?
You need to know. I feel like you need to know.
They hate questions.
And I like the fact that the lyric video itself, the visualizer is showing like obviously all of the politicians and the leaders of certain wars that happened or like certain situations. But it's like the most evil people don't look like how you think they look. They don't look like criminals. They don't got face tattoos. They don't got... The biggest criminals in the countries and in the world is wearing suits.
They got suits on.
They got briefcases.
These
are people that's doing unspeakable things to other people. They making people... We can go into that all day.
Money game.
And we all caught up in it. And the fact that you're afraid, you're just giving them the space to do whatever they want with you. And that's the most dangerous thing in the world.
And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we not upon the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game. Money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers like...
Okay, I like the Sopranos reference.
I love how you got the game shows and stuff like in the background.
The visualizer is great. I really like this. But I mean, he's saying everything we said. Panic, hysteria. If you make people afraid and they start to panic, they'll listen to whoever say something first.
Yeah.
Like if you running around like a chicken with your head cut off and somebody like, okay, I know what to do. They gonna listen to you just because they don't.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
This old money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells cause there's loads on the sand. Step one, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step two, gotta make the people think that they want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste man. Free, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4. Expand, expand, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands. 5. Why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6. Guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7. Press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8. Big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9. Polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10. The world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore. Rain, rain, rain.
I love
that. Was fucking great. You go first. I just wanted to say that was great.
Now I was gonna say
I wanted to let him finish that first. Go ahead.
This came out before High Ren, correct? I'm guessing. I'm not really sure. But in High Ren, when that part, when he was like, oh, we heard it all before, seashell on the seashore.
Yeah.
I like that. But
the fact that he references
yeah, I love that. Like, we heard it all before. Yeah, we heard you say that. Now we see where it came from. I like that.
You got anything to say about that?
He just started going off, just like everything we just been saying. Like, the higher ups are the ones that are in charge are like, they're on stage telling lies. The more money they get, the more, I guess, evil. And then just like when he said, what did he say? Like you get loved even if they hate you. Like, I don't know. I can't really put it in words. Like, even if they hate you, but like they're listening to you still at the same time. which goes into what we say, like, of people being scared and not really like listening like blindly and things like that.
No, I agree. I think the biggest thing was kind of like he was painting the steps of people getting to a point where they think success has to come in only one variation. Like a lot of people feel like you let certain people, you get to this point where you believe there's no successful or rich people that don't have blood on their hands. Like if you listen to the steps of like how he explained how people get to that point, it's like they always say people want to find something they can monetize off. Like they always talk about things are only illegal until the government find a way to make money off of it. Mm-hmm. It's simple and plain. Once they can control the market of it, then it's okay if y'all harm yourselves with it.
Right.
They want to give you a false sense of security where they be like, we care about you. That's not good for your body. But as soon as they can make money from it, now it's in stores.
Right. That's
it's
so
like
true.
For the same way that like cigarettes can give somebody cancer, but they be like, oh, you shouldn't smoke cigarettes. They make commercials about it. But then cigarettes are illegal. Alcohol is illegal.
Right.
Weed's not illegal because they can't make money off of it completely just yet.
Exactly.
Once they find a way to make money, it's gonna be legal in every state.
Everywhere, yeah.
That's just how it is. Because things that are killing people, they can monetize off of it because they know people gonna buy it.
And the things that are healthy, they're not like.
That's not promoted. The things that'll kill you, you can get a 2 liter of soda for 90 cents.
Yeah.
You get a health fruit juice, that shit is $6
exactly.
for a little jar. Remember, when I got my wisdom teeth out, buying a naked, a little container like this was like $4.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't I just get a soda? Why wouldn't I eat fast food?
Exactly, it's cheap.
But also, I like the fact that they kind of play on the fact that they make people feel crazy on purpose. You think of the pandemic. Y'all make it seem like there's a scarcity on things that starts to panic. And when people have a panic, they overindulge in things because they think they won't be okay without it. Mm-hmm. People bought up all the toilet paper. They buying all of this just to find out that what the hell you do all that for?
Right.
They just made you spend more money. Scott's just got paid because of you.
Exactly, for nothing.
You just bought 6 years worth of toilet paper for nothing.
See what they try to do to us?
Or they make you think you crazy, like if you don't got your hands on the newest Apple Vision Pro products or something. If you don't got your hands on this, you're pointless as a human.
That's so true.
I think it got to a point where people find their value in their materialistic possessions rather than who they are on the inside. People not happy just being amongst themselves and people they love no more. If they don't got jewelry, that's like people on social media. If I don't got the most likes, if I don't got the most views in the world, I want to die. It's fucked up that they make you feel that way.
Yeah.
You gotta find value in the attention you get from other people. That's a dangerous place to be.
It is.
And they don't mind doing that to you.
No, because they know it's going to drive us all crazy. We're all fucking robots, literally.
It's sad.
Yeah.
They know what they doing, man. It's all a game. And like he said, you make people feel alienated from everybody else, you'd be surprised the monster they turn into. Mm-hmm. You could even talk about the prisons. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation
like
right
the
there.
cycle of you going in prison and they make it seem like you're going to be rehabilitated by having time away from society.
Right.
Just for you to have lack of opportunities when you get out and they get your ass right back in there because you can't do nothing else. There's no opportunities out here, no work.
So of course, who wouldn't want to go back to jail?
At least it's say I know how to survive there.
I can't get no job anyway, so
and they got your ass working for 13 cents.
Right.
They got you in there making license plates. They got you making ski coats that somebody is paying $1,500 for.
And let's not forget, you could get degrees in jail now.
But then when you come home, you can't get a job.
That. Like what, bro? You make it sound, oh yeah, I got my degree in jail, and you come home and you can't do anything with it. It's crazy.
The world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore. Rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies. Poison in the veins, but we die upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame. We point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game. This old.
I love
deep, bro. I'm really enjoying these.
Me too.
I think the last thing I say before we move on to part 3 is just perpetuating the idea that we've been talking about this whole time. You got to stop questioning yourself and feeling as though there's always something wrong with you. Don't feed into whatever they try to put into your brain. Every time you having a feeling of anxiety, I think is something I learned in therapy. It's important to never claim something as your identity.
Right.
What you're going through is separate from who you are on the inside. Your spirit and the person you are internally has nothing to do with the condition of your circumstances. When you depressed, we got to stop saying things like I'm depressed. I have feelings of depression right now. I'm having a moment where I'm having a feeling of anxiety. The situation you're dealing with is making you feel that way. Don't take on the identity as something that's negative because it just destroys your self-image. I just think it's important that you have the freedom to think of yourself as an individual and be who you are. Don't just allow somebody to tell you. Don't be afraid to question things. Don't be afraid to do your research and go figure out what you believe in on your own. Don't let them tell you you're worthless just because you don't got materialistic things.
Right.
The most beautiful things and the most meaningful things in life is going to be the people you meet along the way.
That's so true.
I'm telling you, we gotta take more value in the relationships we make, because that's the things that's gonna keep you grounded when your storms come. That's what we talking about. That rain gonna come. You just need to surround yourself with people that's gonna keep you from floating off the planet.
That's so true. Keep you grounded, and yeah, you just gotta just be strong.
Yeah, they can be your bridge over troubled water. That's the last thing I say.
Right.
You ready for part 3? All right, y'all, we're gonna get right into part 3. It's Money Game part 3. You ready?
Oh yeah.
So this one is another video. I feel like that already is heavy, because the imagery that gives is once you kind of fall out of the trance of playing the song and dance that society is pushing on you, you start to realize just the fucking where you ended up.
Right.
Like, you start to realize that you become just a puppet. You become man, there's so many ways you could say it, but you just become, in essence, everything that everybody else is. You don't realize that your identity has been stripped away from you and you're dying. Like, you literally having a life choked out of you.
Yeah.
It takes somebody kind of scaring you, because you notice, like, even when somebody came over and tapped him, how afraid he was. When he fell out of whatever the matrix was he was stuck into, playing their song and dance, somebody come over, you be like, wait, shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then it's like, all you gotta do is look in the mirror and you be like, dang, I came like, how did I get here? Like, what the heck?
Comment down below if y'all like to see Ren and Rodney Radke write a song together.
That'd be
That
hard.
would be a great concept, bro.
Shoot, let us know if they have one already.
Just follow in the reverse and Red got us all together. Because if not, they need to collab now,
do.
bro. It'd be so fire.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the popo inside of his pocket. 35, he gets the call. I'm sorry son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting
Shit, man. This is... God, me too.
The spiral is crazy.
The storytelling, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him finish the rant before
Yeah.
reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment, this is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention, politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention, law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains.
Yeah.
But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
I got so much I want to say. You can go.
I'll let you go. Yeah, I'll let you go.
You sure?
Yeah.
So I mean, the reason why I didn't talk throughout that video is because I just wanted him to get a chance to get the story off, and then we talk at the end of it. Because I feel like it was just important to let the whole premise get understood before you kind of touch on it.
Yeah, that's not something you really pause through.
Yeah, when it comes to stories, I think it's important to kind of get where it's going first, because I think if you talk throughout a story, you got a chance of misinterpreting it, and then it goes somewhere you didn't anticipate.
Right,
You
oh
gotta
shit.
backtrack, right?
I spoke too soon.
But what I do want to say is I kind of feel like that's the cycle of life. Like, you know, you listen to our parents and a lot of the insecurities that they grew up with, or excuses for the reasons that they weren't able to become what they had the potential to be. Mm-hmm. A lot of them always say, well, I was raised this way. But if you talk to your grandparents, they got the same excuses and etc. Because I feel like it is a cold world. It really is a cold world. If you're not somebody who's willing to compromise your character and be the type of person that'll take advantage of other people to get ahead, the world isn't really designed for you to succeed. That's what they want you to believe.
Yeah.
But it's like just the fact that his father was obviously heartbroken. You could tell that when he had a child, his father had been through some things in his life. He got his ass whooped by life. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So for him to pour into his son, the only thing you gotta worry about is you. Like, you know, when you got a baby, they can be selfish. They worry about themselves and self-preservation. You can either nurture that, or you can teach your children to be more caring. You can teach them to be giving.
Yeah.
Like, people that raise very caring and sweet children, That's everything that a child learns is learned behavior.
That's so
You
true.
aren't born to be timid. You aren't born to be afraid, anxious. That's stuff you develop through
it over time.
experiences.
Yeah.
Exactly. From the influence that you have in your life. So if his dad did nurture him and say, you need to worry about yourself, you need to take advantage of every opportunity that you can get, regardless of who's in the way of it. He set him on the wrong path because his son had the knowledge and the opportunity to be a change maker in the world. But instead of nurturing him to be supportive of other people and build a village to kind of help uplift the world, he told him to focus on himself. But he just didn't know how, when you mix greed and a lack of understanding with worldly pleasures, you can get a dangerous combination.
Yeah.
Because the devil will offer you fruits that seem beautiful from the outside looking in.
It's gonna fuck you up.
But when you get caught up in that world, you start to look at yourself in the mirror, you don't even recognize yourself no more.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to the progression of his life, it could have went so many different ways. He's a genius.
Yeah, like his life literally went from, his parents putting him in the situations to become good, to become great, him being a genius, him getting good grades, him being a millionaire before he was 18, and then, but it also like fucked him up because his life went downhill because he's like so centered in things like that. Like it just took a bad turn.
And I feel like inevitably that's what can happen to anybody. That's why I always come from a place of understanding with people instead of judgment. Because at the end of the day, people's circumstances aren't for you to understand. You have to be willing to hear them and see. You don't have to agree with it, but you can try your best to understand where they're coming from. Because with his position, it could have went a different way, but his father didn't encourage him to have a moral compass or live on a set of values or morals the way a man should. There's a lot of males out here that do anything for some money, but that's a dangerous person.
Yeah.
As a father, nowadays, look, the media try to make it seem like the independent woman. You don't need a man. These kids don't need, you need your father. You need your mother. You need both parents to nurture different sides of you. And I feel like the best way you can pour into the next generation is to teach them to stand on what they believe in. And what they should believe in is something that's principle based and they got values. Because if you don't help nobody else get ahead, your life won't be blessed.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to be
You have
blessed.
to help other people to
You
get
have to.
blessed in life.
His dad never taught him, hey, be kind to the next person.
Right.
When you get an influx of money or you got blessings flowing in, pay it
Help
forward.
people. Yeah.
He wasn't taught that. And I feel
Right.
like when you're not taught that, we talked about that earlier, some people grow up to have an excuse of thinking that, oh, I was less fortunate because I didn't have those lessons. You can choose.
You can choose. You get older and you, even though you was brought up a certain way, you get older, you have your own mind, you can do your own research, you can go by your own principles that you want to live by. It's like people kind of use how they grew up as an excuse throughout their whole lives to never change. That's
so
also
true.
a dangerous person as well.
That's so true. And I think, and this is the last thing I say, I'm going to get off my soapbox. But this is serious.
It's
because
serious shit though.
it's like at the end of the day, you will go through things that make you feel more challenged than you've ever been in your entire life. You'll go through storms, the rain is going to come. But you got to understand that regardless of the mistakes you make, you have to be kind to yourself. If you don't give yourself grace and understanding, you won't even know how to start to receive it from somebody else. Because you see, as he progressed, the things that he had to compromise internally turned him into a beast. He transitioned from being a software inventor and being,
Yeah.
to being an arms dealer, to selling drugs,
Selling drugs.
to be able, you know what I'm saying? People dying, like he said. What the world to teach you and what the higher ups, the politicians, whatever it is, their life course and what they show you is what's the value of a Lamborghini to a life?
Right.
If I can get ahead in life, who cares about what happens to anybody else? If you gotta die for me to have what I want, die.
Right.
And he went through a lot of things. He sacrificed a lot of himself internally and it started to weigh on him. And you mix that in with drugs. He was a heroin addict. He was an alcoholic. He lost his father, who was his only sense of influence in his life.
He couldn't walk again. Like all that.
When you don't make peace with your demons and just confront whatever your issues are internally, it's gonna come. Whether you push that shit off to the very last day you alive on the planet, you gonna have to deal with whatever the fuck you've done. You gonna have to deal with it.
It's either you can deal with it early or you can deal with it when everything's all built up.
But it's gonna come.
But it's gonna come.
It's gonna come. And it's like, that was one of those things that regardless of having everything in the world, that shit don't make you happy.
It don't.
So part 3 bring it all full circle for me, because it shows you that you need to pay more attention to what true wealth is in life. The wealth in your life is having solid relationships with people you love.
Exactly.
If you got people around you that love you, you more blessed than a fucking billionaire.
That'll get you ahead more.
Yeah, and it'll keep you here longer.
And like you just said, and what we always been learning, money doesn't equal happiness.
No, it don't.
Like, you can have all the money in the world, all the success in the world, but if you're not happy internally, you don't have a clear mind, you won't be happy at all. Doesn't matter how many Lamborghinis you can buy.
I agree. If you got $100 million and you unhappy, that's just a bigger form of money to be able to kill yourself with.
Exactly.
Because you've just seen people burn through $100 million doing drugs.
Right.
This shit happens.
I'd rather spend my millions on things that are important than, I hate myself, so I'm gonna spend my millions on fucking drugs and alcohol and whatever, God knows what.
This is crazy. Yeah. But I think the moral of all of this is to just find a village of people and figure out who you want to be. You got to make a decision, whether it be now or later in life after the circumstances. You got to make a decision of what your value system is and stand on what you believe in.
Right.
Regardless of what people try to force you to believe, always have faith in what you understand. And try your best to be good to each other. And more importantly, be good to yourself, bro.
Yes.
Because you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fuck up, and you're going to get set back a million times. Mm-hmm. Life wasn't ever supposed to be easy.
Just be decent to people, you know?
Because people are assholes. But
yeah, like we get it. Like, I'm not, everybody isn't the most, well, some people aren't the most people person, but that doesn't mean you have to be rude to people. You don't have to make people feel down about situations that they're going through. Don't judge people. Just be a decent human being. That's all you can do.
I agree. At least attempt to be.
Yeah.
I mean, like we keep saying, you're going to have situations that you can't fight. You can't get away from them. You just going to have to deal with it. Mm-hmm. But for the sake of not talking too much, that was pretty much what all of this was. It was a story kind of detailing that you can run so far in your life. Like, look, him going from 1 to 4 and then going from 41 to 45.
Yeah.
The transition of you learning and having the opportunity to grow from here to the de-evolution of your lifestyle coming on the latter half of your life and ultimately leading to your demise because of how much you hate yourself.
It's crazy.
That's so normal though.
It is.
We could go on a spill about that. But
yeah, we ain't gonna keep y'all here forever.
But we appreciate y'all suggesting this. This was a great trilogy. And it gave a lot of room for us to have conversation about something that's deep. I appreciate Ren as an artist because it gives us something to talk about. And I think that's the worst part about where we at as a society. People don't know how to talk anymore.
That's so true.
People can text each other or people can type out negative comments. They can be, that's weird.
That's weird.
People can type out something weird, but when they see you in your face, they won't
never say it.
You won't say it.
Silence.
That is weird. But we appreciate y'all. Comment down below some more stuff y'all like to see us react to.
Yes, let us know if he has more trilogies.
Nah, for sure. Because if it's a story, I'm always going. I always want to hear it. But go ahead.
But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all turn them post notifications. And we're going to see y'all in the next banger.
Peace.
Bye.